Is it possible to add over 100 pounds to your squat in only 1 month?
Let's find out.
I hate to break it to you,
But not only is it possible,
but I'm gonna show you exactly what I did to transfer
my squat, I'm gonna show you how I transformed my squat from only being able to rep 315 for one
to being able to rep 405 for reps. My simple and easy process. We're gonna add a ton of weight to your squat,
and we're gonna get you much, much stronger.
let's get it. Now, I could just be a snake oil salesman and
Tell you the specific exercises you can do,
to increase your squat, but no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna show you the
individual exercise,
and exactly how many reps you have to do to get your legs looking immaculate. Let's get it. This is
the ultimate.
squatting guide. Now guys, one of the main things that sets my workouts apart from others is my focus on compound movements. I believe that compound movements are the best way to not only build muscle, but build strength in a quick amount of time. So that's why throughout this workout, you're gonna see many different types of compound movements, starting with squats. All right, so the first thing you're gonna see me doing in these videos is you're gonna see a mix of a dynamic warm-up and then also a static warm-up. Now, when people are warming up, they'll often say that static warm-ups, they can cause you to be more prone to getting injuries. I personally disagree with this. I like static stretches. I feel like they're a good start to your workout. They allow you to mentally prepare, and they also they just feel good as well. And then once I get my static stretching in, which normally I'll do a quad pull for, I will then move on to my dynamic warm-up. So what I like to do for squats specifically is I'll do some leg swings, going all the way out and then all the way back in. And then once I did my dynamic warm-up, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna rip out that bar as much as I possibly can for as long as I possibly can. So pretty much the whole purpose of this is just to get your body used to the weight. So you really, if you're starting really cold like I was in this video, you're really gonna start off just repping until you eventually feel something in your legs. Once you feel a little burn, then that's how you know, okay, now my body's actually warm and I'm ready to hit the gym. I'm ready to stack some weight on there. All right, so then now let me tell you about a little known conspiracy in the fitness industry. If you're new to the gym, you're probably gonna be told that 3x 8 to 12 is the best rep range, it's the best set range. I personally disagree with this. In my opinion, I've grown the most and gotten the most strength when I do 2 working sets of 5 to 6 reps for the most part, sometimes 5 to 8 reps. That is the ideal rep range. And if you're doing that rep range, it means you're going extremely heavy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put as much weight as I possibly can on the bar to where I'm doing that rep range, and I'm only gonna do 2 hard sets of it. And that also mentally helps you lock in as well. Yeah, so basically what I'm gonna be doing in this video is I'm doing 285 pounds. So can I do way more than that? Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't like to go above that much too much because I'm 170. So if I don't have a spotter, I don't want to obviously risk dying. So I just go 285 light work, easy repage, feels good, and also it just looks sexy. So yeah, 285, I do that for 5 to 8 reps. And then once you're getting to rep 5 and 6, then that's when you decide, okay, do I want to only do 6 reps or do I want to try to push myself for that 8? Okay, so that really takes a lot of strength and it's very challenging to do, and you're gonna have to mentally dig deep. And then we're gonna do the same thing for our second set, except now for our second set, we're feeling even warmer. So unlike me, if you feel like adding a little more weight onto the bar that you didn't previously add on, that's all up to you. That's all fine and dandy. However, I wanted to stick with 285. So once you got that first set in, now you're really ready to go. This is your last set, so this is your all set. So if this weight is as heavy as it should be, every single rep should have a good amount of challenge. In that last couple reps, those should be extremely challenging, if not to the point of failure, okay? So you're really giving it your all every single rep, and this is gonna allow you to build strength so much faster, all right? Trust me. Doing 2 sets instead of 3 sets is one of the biggest reasons why my squat was able to go up so quickly compared to the rest of my body. All right, so our next exercise, our next compound movement is going to be deadlifts, okay? So what we're gonna do is a similar thing. We're gonna start off no weight on the bar, just warming up, feeling as many reps as we possibly can until we're feeling something in our legs. And then once we're starting to feel a little warmer, then we can start to add some weight. Deadlifts are a great exercise for me personally because I love how you can go from squats to deadlifts and feel so tired. I know that was such a riveting sentence, but it's true. I just love the way that they both exhaust you, and I love squats and deadlifts. I love legs so much. I'm being sarcastic if you can't tell. I hate deadlifts. Now, I know you guys may be thinking, this guy stinks. He's only doing 285 on deadlift. He's doing the same amount he did for squats on deadlifts. Guys, my thing is I'm not trying to break my back, okay? I have been doing deadlifts for 4 years since I was in 8th grade, and I think that every single time I do it, my back gets progressively worse. I can feel it, I can sense it. So if I'm gonna go a little light, it is what it is. Don't hate on me in the comments. But yeah, you're gonna do deadlifts, same thing. 2 sets of 5 to 6 reps for the most part, sometimes 5 to 8 reps, depending on how you're feeling in that set. And guys, again, we're going heavy. For every single set today, you are going to be going heavy. Heaviness is why you're only doing 2 sets, because if you're only doing 2 sets, you've got to be giving the same amount of energy and intensity and power that you would be if you were doing 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. So you just got to condense it all, and that makes it a lot more difficult, but it also gives your muscles a lot more tension, and it makes them tear a lot easier, in my opinion. Now, I'm not gonna lie, second set of deadlifts is where it started to get really real for me. Deadlifts are one of my least favorite exercises, especially because I always feel like I'm gonna rip my back apart and end up like Bane after Batman or Batman after Bane. So I really just focused, I locked in, I knocked out my reps. And the key thing with deadlifts, guys, is to always maintain good form and good posture. If you are going too heavy, then that is the stupidest thing ever, because that's how you generally injure yourself. And that's how you end up an old man who's unable, or old lady who is unable to walk, and you're just cooked. So really make sure, it's okay if you have to lower your weight for deadlifts and squats, because legs are super important. We use them all the time. I didn't know if you knew that. So if you have to lower the weight, that is perfectly okay, in my opinion. And then our last compound movement is going to be one of the best compound movements out there, in my opinion. It's going to be good old-fashioned hang cleans. All right, so hang cleans are a great exercise because they work so many different parts of your body, and they also work explosiveness. In this video, what I'm going to start off by doing is, again, same thing I've been doing with the other compound movements, where I'm just trying to feel as many reps as I can until I'm eventually feeling my muscles. So I'm doing as many reps as I can until I'm feeling some tension, until I'm feeling some tiredness, and then that's how I know my body's actually ready for some weight. Now, hang cleans can be extremely dangerous, even more dangerous than deadlifts. Who would have thought? More dangerous than deadlifts. So, what I do is I just go for explosive power. I don't necessarily go too heavy. I don't necessarily go too light. I just do one plate. So if you're gonna hate on me, it is what it is. If you're gonna love on me, hey, I'll take it. But again, you don't have to kill yourself with this. I think 135 is a good weight for me. I get enough of a challenge, and then I also, my main focus is explosion, so I can do a lot of explosive power with that. And I'm still feeling fatigue after that 5 to 6 rep range as well. So again, it's in line with my 2 set scenarios. Now, for hang cleans, you really want to maintain good form, guys. When you're lifting the bar up, imagine your entire body is kind of moving as one fluid motion. You can't be too rigid. You can't have like your legs go first and then suddenly your arms go. Like you cannot be robotic with this movement. It has to be fluid. So immediately, as soon as that bar gets to your hips, you're immediately popping your hips up, driving your arms up and getting underneath the bar, and then driving up. Okay, so it's got to be a fluid thing. And guys, my main thing is, if you've never done hang cleans before, do not immediately try them with weight. Do not even immediately try them with the bar. If you've never done hang cleans before, just do it in the air or do it with dumbbells, where you're literally just breaking down the long movement into a much smaller movement. So first, it's take the dumbbells or the air, you go to your knees, and then you go to your hips, you pop it at the hips, you lift your arms up, you snag underneath it, and then you drive up. And you just do that as many times as you can until it's fluid, and then you can start adding weight. All right, so guys, my last exercise is actually not a compound movement. Who would have thought? All right, so my last exercise is gonna be some good old-fashioned hack squats. I don't know if you can tell, but out of all the leg exercises, which I loathe squats the least, and all squat variants the least, except for Bulgarian squats. Those are my #1 ops, okay? But basically what we're doing for hack squats is same sort of thing, except we don't really need a warm-up necessarily. You can add a warm-up if you need it. However, if you're going from doing all this previous leg work, you can probably just get into your set if you really want to. Or if you feel that you want a kind of warm up, just for you could do 3 sets, and then the first set you just go lighter weight, and then you just progress up. But you don't necessarily need a warm up set for this, okay? But then once we get into our 2 actual sets, again, if you feel that the weight is too light for you, you can do way more than 5 to 8. That's perfectly okay. Add some more weight on there and do your 5 to 8 sets, 5 to 8 reps. And then again, guys, you want full range of motion for this exercise. A problem I see a lot of people is they'll go like halfway and then they go up. And if you only go halfway on any exercise, you're only gonna be able to build half of that muscle tissue. So what's gonna happen then is if you're only building half of that muscle tissue, then when you do accidentally go to full range of motion, that other half of the muscle tissue is not gonna be trained at all. So that's gonna be much more prone to getting injured. So again, you gotta train every single rep to complete range of motion. And hack squats are a great exercise, especially for squats, because you're gonna feel it a lot, trust me. And you can just stack a lot of weight on there, so you can build ego as well. All right, and then my last piece of advice is 2 different things. So, wait, that's 2 different pieces of advice. Whoa. All right, so the first piece of advice is to track your calories and eat more food. If you eat more food, you gain more mass. And the more mass you have, the more mass you can move. That's just plain and simple. So if you eat more, if you track your calories, you get bigger. You get some bigger guns. You get some bigger legs. I know I don't have huge legs, but they're strong. Trust me. They're strong. Trust me. It will allow you to move a lot more weight and allow your squat to improve a lot quicker. My second piece of advice is going to be a dog in leg days. Okay, what do I mean by be a dog in leg days? A lot of us, I know me personally, a lot of people, when they're doing legs, they're like, oh, it's a leg day. I don't want to do this. And like, there's always like people joking about it too, where it's like, oh, I started my leg day and then I finished on bench press. Like guys, leg day is super important and you have to be super disciplined about it, just like you would be if you're training back or buys or chest and triceps or shoulders. Like even imagine your legs is a muscle group you want to do and then do it. Because if you give the same amount of effort that you do to your other muscle groups that you actually like to train, then your legs are going to experience the same amount of growth as those other muscle groups, and the strength will increase as well. So you have to train it like a dog, be a dog, and every single time try to be putting more and more weight on that barbell. All right, great work. Like and subscribe. Comment your squats. Let's get it.